Hello and welcome to GameSack. This week we're going to take a look at some casual games.
That's right. Now, casual games are games that you play that have really no defined goal in mind and usually no ending to speak of. You just play them casually.
That's right, and we're going to start off with a game that brought a whole bunch of people to the market casually. And yeah, that's it, Joe. Wii Sports.
Oh, man.
Hell, I'll bet even one of your moms is playing it right now.
Wii Sports is the king of casual games. It's so damn casual that it made Grandma more relevant to Nintendo than actual gamers. It was originally included with the Wii and is basically a tech demo for the system's motion control capabilities. This game is only the tip of the iceberg for this type of game, and there's no way we even want to think about covering them all. There are several different sport type games included. You have bowling, baseball, boxing, golf, and tennis. Most of these games are okay, but I think people tend to stick to bowling. The controls are somewhat intuitive, at least for the bowling anyway. The graphics are abysmal and they definitely go for the minimalist approach. Females and elderly people think this is cute, so the graphics definitely help win over that market. Nothing will make your mom feel like she is a true gamer more than Wii Sports or many of its Wii offshoots.
Okay, Joe, I'm going to have to disagree with you on some of your points. The graphics are minimal, but this isn't a bad thing. Nintendo intended for this game to appeal to a broad range of people. The game has lots of appealing bright colors. The music, which isn't super awesome, fits the game quite nicely. The only reason I stopped playing this game is because Wii Sports Resort was released. This title had a lot of the same, but added a lot more to the mix.
I never bothered with this game because I was sick and tired of the Wii's motion control gimmick.
I enjoy a little waggle now and again with my game.
I bet you do.
They added some games that we're not going to talk about, like swordplay, jet ski, cycling, table tennis, and canoeing, but the good games include wakeboarding, which is actually quite fun, archery, which makes great use of the Wii Remote and nunchuck, frisbee, which includes my favorite, disc golf, basketball, mainly the three-point competition, which is good and feels quite natural. Bowling is more of the same, with some new added modes like 100 pin. And air sports, which gives you the feeling of what a good Pilot Wings game would be like on the Wii.
Ugh, I think that was more than I could stand of those games, Dave. But at least the PS3, it has some great casual games for the move. This thing is awesome, man.
Are you kidding me,
Not
Joe?
at all.
Really?
So,
Give me
what are you doing?
Stop it. Anyways, back to real casual games. Do you have a casual game that's actually more interesting than the Wii Sports Resort?
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, I do. In fact, it's even a Nintendo game. We're talking about Mario Paint. Let's take a look.
All right, yeah.
Ah, yes, Mario Paint. 1992 is a great time to be an artist and a gamer. You see, I used to draw a lot, and when games like this came out and let me draw graphics on screen, I was in heaven. Well, almost. It came with a clumsy mouse, but it really did help out. Mario Paint definitely lets you draw on screen, but unfortunately the window it lets you draw on is letterboxed and quite small. Also, even the thinnest lines you can choose are really thick. The game lets you choose from a few different colors and patterns, and to be honest, I wanted the full power of the Super Nintendo at my disposal. That's right, I wanted to be able to choose from all 32,768 different colors with 256 of them on screen at once. Or, you know, at least 256 available colors to choose from would have been nice. So the paint side of this game was quite disappointing to me from a technical standpoint, but it was still pretty fun.
You know, it's disappointing to me because I'm not an artist. I can draw a great stick figure, though.
You can save your drawing to the cartridge, but only one drawing at a time to my knowledge. The game also has a mode where you can create music by placing different icons on some staff lines. You choose a tempo and Mario hops on the icons, which all make a different sound. This is probably the most used feature in Mario Paint.
You know, I had a better time with the music creator. I love trying to create music from other games like Castlevania or Mega Man.
I bet you failed hard, didn't you?
Oh, pretty much.
There's also a cool fly swatting game that makes good use of the mouse. It's a good way to waste a few minutes here and there.
Yes, that is definitely a fun waste of time. At least my mouse got a little use then.
Now, not long before this game came out, Sega released Art Alive on the Genesis, and I'm only talking about this game because I figured the two games were a competition at the time. It's the same basic concept, but with a few differences, of course. Firstly, you must use a digital controller instead of the mouse. That means it's very hard to draw curved lines in this game. But at least these lines can be thin as a single pixel in the game, and you can draw on a much larger area of the screen. The selection of colors is still very, very poor. Also, the undo function kinda sucks because sometimes it'll delete more than just your recent goof up, forcing you to redo stuff that was perfectly fine. You also can't save your work. The game actually recommends that you save your artwork to a VHS tape.
Oh my god, that is hilarious! I wonder how many kids saved their art to a VHS tape, turned off the power, and then wondered a few days later how they were supposed to retrieve their project and finish it.
Yeah. Anyway, sometime in 1992, I recorded both Mario Paint and Art Alive to a Super VHS videotape. I drew a scene in one game and I tried to draw the same scene in the other game. I even did a bit of animation that the games themselves could not do natively by recording one frame at a time. Here is the 20-year-old result of that day.
Man, Joe, you are a pack rat. You must have known in 1992 that you would have needed this in the future.
Yep, I knew back then that this would be good to show on GameSack. Anyway, both Mario Paint and Art Alive are fun to waste time on if you are an artist who happens to still be in 1992, but overall Mario Paint wins this battle.
As usual, Nintendo wins. Thanks for acknowledging that though, Joe. Joe, that was a pretty good choice in Mario Paint, but I'm kind of wondering if it's more of just really a paint and a music program.
No, I think it counts as a game, a real game. I mean, they released it on cartridge after all.
True. If you say so, I guess it is.
It is, but what do you have next for us?
Oh, I have a great game, Joe. I spent many hours on this game, and they all seem to go by just like minutes, those hours.
Oh, really?
This is a game called Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Animal Crossing was originally released on the N64 in Japan. This version never made it out of the country. It was ported over to the GameCube in 2002. Animal Crossing is a game where the player moves into a village populated by animals. The game is open-ended and has no ending. You live life day to day in this village, interacting with the animals, making friends with them, or shrugging them off if you don't care for them. The game runs on a calendar and clock system, meaning the game has seasons and holidays, which correspond to real life.
Jeez, this is boring.
Well, Joe, the main attraction to Animal Crossing is the collecting.
I can see why it appeals to you then.
That's true. There are a number of things to collect in the game, such as fish, bugs, fossils, seashells, and art, just to name a few. All of these collections are kept in the town museum for you to look at any time you want. You can earn and collect NES games to play at your own will in this version. Also with the seasons, different fish and bugs will appear only at certain times of the year. This adds to the depth of the game and it keeps you coming back to collect more and more. From the shop owner, Tom Nook, you can buy any number of furniture items to help decorate your house. You can also change the wallpaper and floor designs. There must be 50 different complete furniture sets and the same for the wallpapers and floors. Besides collecting, you can also fulfill your landscaping needs. You can chop down trees, plant new ones, pull weeds, and plant flowers. You can spend days manicuring your village just the way you like it. The good times never end! I am a huge fan of Animal Crossing. I'm not sure what the attraction is to me. I'm sure it's partly the collecting of everything in this game, and I'm also sure it's the casual aspect of the gameplay. There's no clock to race against or quest to achieve. It's as laid back as it gets. You can turn the game on and spend 5 minutes just to visit the shop to see if it has anything new for one of your collections. Or you could spend 5 hours doing everything the game has to offer and not get bored. A new Animal Crossing was released on the DS in 2005. This added Wi-Fi connection so you could visit your friend's village. Animal Crossing on the Wii is pretty much a port of the DS version. Everything is intact from the DS version, and Nintendo added a small shopping village you can visit, which is really nothing special.
You know, Dave, I can understand why you like that game. I can, but for me, I don't think I could ever really get into it at all.
I don't care. My enjoyment of a game, Joe, isn't based on your opinion of it.
Well, come on, it should be. Anyway, when I was looking for the last game to include in this episode, I was having a hard time coming up with something to meet the criteria. And as I was scanning the shelves, it hit me.
It did?
Yeah. Test Drive Unlimited.
Oh, interesting choice.
Test Drive Unlimited is definitely a casual game to me. It was released for several systems, but this is the Xbox 360 version here. I offered a free Xbox 360 and a copy of this game to Dave, but he refused.
I still do refuse. That's the last thing I need, Joe, is another game system. Hey, why in the hell do you have 2 copies of this game anyways?
One was a review copy and it was given to me, but you can never have too many systems, Dave. Didn't you say you were a collector? Anyway, the game has several races and other stuff you can do at your leisure, but to my knowledge there's no ending, at least not one that I've seen. Even if there is, the game is definitely played very casually. You drive around the entire island of Oahu in Hawaii, and this place is immense. There's over 1,000 miles of road here, and I still haven't even been down them all yet, and I've put a ton of hours into this thing. Typical events include racing against the clock, racing against evil foes, trying to get the highest average speed, transporting illegal goods from point A to point B in a certain amount of time without attracting the cops, transporting hitchhikers and top models who are all in a crazy hurry, and more.
Aloha, man. Hey, it'd be cool if you could drop me at my friend's pad. Any chance of a ride? Take it easy. I'm getting some negative vibes from this car, so I'm bailing out.
Speaking of the models, if you pull up in a Ferrari, she may refuse to get into your car because she doesn't want to be seen in such a clunker. Pull up in a Saturn, and that same model is all too happy to get in.
Sorry, but I wouldn't want to be seen in that kind of car. Thanks anyway.
What is wrong with that? A hot girl who doesn't know what a Ferrari is? She's my type of lady.
Anyway, it's not linear at all, and you can engage in any activity you want as long as you can find where it's located. It's a similar concept to Burnout Paradise, which I hope to talk about in a future episode, but this game came out long before that one did. You also get to do stuff like collect clothing, but that's really not something I'm interested in doing. Your character also buys many houses in which to store the massive amounts of cars and motorcycles you collect, and there are tons of cars.
Ooh, there's collecting in here? Keep talking, I'm listening.
If you bump into other cars too much, somehow the police get wind of this immediately and they try to chase you down. If you get caught, your ticket can be many, many thousands of dollars. Oh, and the police don't care if you drive on the wrong side of the road or if you speed. They only care if you bump into other cars.
What kind of Looney Tune world is this, Joe?
If they don't catch you, they eventually get bored and stop chasing you. The graphics are pretty damn good for their time, but they probably won't blow you away these days. There are some dropped frames here and there, and even though the time of day changes, it never really becomes nighttime. The game also encourages you to play online with tons of other players, but I really don't care about that.
I wonder if anybody cares about that being the age of the game.
Probably not. But overall, this is a great game to waste a lot of time with.
Joe, I get a really weird feeling watching you play that game. I mean, the character looks like a real creep. He looks just like you. I mean, no wonder that game didn't sell well.
Well, maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
Maybe. Anyways, what are some of your favorite casual games? Let us know, and we will see you next week. Joe, check it out, man. I got a new game for the Wii. It's called Wii Play. You want to try it?
Wii Play?
Yeah.
Dude, I told you I'm sick of waggle controls, man. Wii Play, they should have called this Y Play. Jeez.
Well, maybe somebody else will play.